Sometimes, learning English feels like entering the wrong place and realizing it a little too late. You walk in confidently, thinking you belong, but as soon as you open your mouth or make the wrong move, everyone turns to look, and you suddenly wish you could disappear. That exact feeling is how many people experience learning a new language. But guess what? Those moments are not failures, they're fuel. At RealSpeak, we use real stories to help you learn English through emotion, humor, and unforgettable experiences. Hit subscribe and let your mistakes become your greatest teachers. It all started when Jack landed in Budapest on a cool spring afternoon. The city charmed him right away. There were elegant buildings, wide rivers, and delicious smells coming from every corner. He had a short list of things he wanted to do: try chimney cake, take a river cruise on the Danube, and relax in one of Budapest's famous thermal baths. On his second day, he asked the receptionist at his hostel for recommendations. She circled a spot on his map and said, "Gellert. Beautiful place, classic spa, just across the bridge. You'll love it." Jack changed into his swim trunks, threw a towel over his shoulder, and set off. The walk was nice. The sun was out, the city buzzed with life, and he was ready for some warm water and relaxation. When he arrived, he saw the grand building with statues, domes, and elegant windows. It looked more like a museum than a place to swim, but he figured that's what made it special. Inside, he bought a ticket, went through the turnstile, and followed signs to the changing room. Everything looked a little more elegant than he expected: marble floors, tall ceilings, and people speaking softly. Still, Jack kept going. He stepped out of the locker room and entered the main hall. The pool was stunning: deep blue water, large Roman columns, chandeliers above, and absolutely no one splashing around. In fact, everyone was quiet, still, and somehow glowing. Most wore crisp white robes. Some were sipping herbal tea. A woman nearby gave him a look that said, "Are you lost?" That's when Jack noticed something important: he was the only person in swim trunks and flip-flops. Everyone else had matching slippers and luxurious robes. There were no beach towels or pool noodles. No one was laughing. It wasn't a public pool, it was a high-end spa. He backed away slowly, trying not to draw more attention. He tiptoed back to the locker room, heart pounding. On the way, he passed a quiet couple reading books in a sauna. Someone was getting a facial. A staff member asked politely if he needed help. Jack mumbled, "Just, looking for the hot tub," and kept walking. He made it back to the front desk, explained the mistake, and the staff kindly redirected him to a more casual section of the baths open to tourists. When he arrived there, the atmosphere was totally different: chatty groups, tourists with cameras, and yes, people in trunks. Jack finally slid into the warm thermal water and let out a huge sigh of relief. He had made it. Sort of. Now let's break down what you learned in English from Jack's misadventure. This story was full of real-life vocabulary and expressions like "landed in," "threw a towel over his shoulder," "looked more like," "stepped out," "gave him a look," "heart pounding," and "mumbled." These are the natural phrases that bring your English to life. The beauty of learning through stories is that you get rhythm, context, and emotion, not just grammar rules. You experience the embarrassment, the awkward silence, and the little victories, and those feelings help you remember the words. So next time you're feeling unsure about your English, just remember Jack in his swim trunks standing in a luxury spa lobby. We all end up in the wrong place sometimes, but we always walk away with a story. And in English, that story can help someone else. Subscribe to RealSpeak for more true stories that teach you real English, one honest moment at a time. And in the comments, tell us, what's the most awkward place you've ever walked into by mistake?